Good afternoon and welcome back to the Old School Crew. So we got a new video for you here. It's gonna be pretty interesting. We're actually going on a road trip. It seems like me and Andy have gone on quite a few road trips here lately, but I'm on my way over to Pitt to pick up Andy. Then we're gonna swing by Colton's house on the way up and stop by there. But our end destination is gonna be Atchison, Kansas, where Mr. Derrick Parrott and Glenn Parrott reside. And we're gonna see the two black first gens. And I'm buying a manifold off of Glenn, but we're gonna go up, hang out for the day, see Derrick's basically new engine setup. We're gonna go over all the changes they made over the winter, what events they're gonna shoot for the summer, what their goals are for the summer and spring, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna get all of that and hopefully some footage of all of it whenever we get up there. I got my batteries charged, we're ready to go. I'm pretty hyped. It's about a 2-hour and 40-minute drive up to Atchison, so I will get with you guys whenever we get up there. And yeah, I'd say you're in for a treat with this one, so we'll be back shortly. You don't know what to do with your hands? Alright guys, so we have made it up to Atchison, where both of the black trucks you guys tend to see in some of my videos reside. And we are going to be taking off a manifold. That's kind of why I came up. Buying Glenn's Steed Speed off of him. So what we're going to do is pull the manifold off and hang out and shoot the shit like we usually do. So this truck itself, we'll go over both trucks, kind of what all's done to them and all that good stuff, and where they're going to be at this summer, so you guys can come see them. You guys know Derrick's truck. Has the fresh rebuild going on, so we'll go over that here later this evening. But here's a sneak peek. So there's hopefully you'll stick around to the end and find out more about these two trucks. But we're gonna hop into pulling the manifold. This thing is a ripper. It gets down, especially for a VE truck. So we're gonna get right into it, kind of what's all done to the truck, what he's changed, where you can come see this truck this year at what events and things like that. And then obviously to wrap it up, the power goal for the truck. And yeah, so this is Derrick. We're up here in Atchison, Kansas. And so go ahead and what is all done to the truck, and then we'll go over what has changed since you guys saw it last year at Shide.
Starting off, it is a original 9 intercooled 12 valve, so it does have the larger marine ball pistons, and just recently had to rebuild it. So went from before making the 602 with the new 47 RH from Logan built with the full manual valve body, molded and shifter, and pulled it out because it had a blown head gasket, and then ended up trying to fix that up. Pulled the engine out of it and put a 184 215 cam in it, and had new injectors, and then had it back in. Sure enough, had low oil pressure issues. Yeah. It came down to pulling the engine back out and finding my cylinders were scored and I tripped the machine shop in a heavy bill later and new pistons, and got it back in and running. And it came down to the wrong oil killer gasket, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But now we have heavily ported head, a hot VE pump from the man Evan, a S36268 turbo, BD manifold, the cam from Bullet Racing,
Yep.
rainbow pistons, 4-inch exhaust,
And all the supporting stuff, basically.
yeah,
I mean,
push rods, head studs, all works there. The only thing I didn't do was the ARP main studs because I'm not spinning that many RPM running P-pump. And I just recently, with the rebuild, put a aluminum radiator and electric fans in it for more working space, and so it runs cooler, easier. And the trans, and yeah, that's performance-wise, that's mostly 7.3 intercooler for all the big cooling action.
7.3 intercooler.
Yep.
So that's, I mean, most of you guys saw this truck way back whenever it first started between me and Derek, and it had a get rag in it. So I mean, he's got that 47 RE from Logan Built, like he was saying, or 47 RH. He can afford more than me, so I had to stick with an RE. But yeah, so it's a very, very good running truck. Right now, he got the new injectors put in, and they're from DDP.
76 LPM.
Yeah, 76 LPM. They, on the test drive, as you can see, it never ran out of fuel. So probably gonna have to address the air side of things. You know what turbine housing size is? That a 9?
I think it's a 12.
Oh, it's a 12. So yeah, so a 12, which is I think pretty standard for what these Chargers came with back in the day.
Mm-hmm. It's the older 62 FMW forged mill wheel, the older style.
Yeah.
With the fat shaft.
So at this point, he's got the fuel to do it. He already did 602 at Scheid, and this thing, just for me riding in it then and now, it's a completely different truck. The cam definitely helped the peppiness of it, but it doesn't even really sound very 12 valve anymore. It's very smooth and crisp. It's kind of weird, but it was very enjoyable to ride in. I was very, very impressed with it. So that kind of wraps up what all is done to it. As far as events this year, where are you gonna hit? Whether it's small or big, where
hopefully Scheid again this year, possibly UCC, LTN, maybe Mother of Mayhem in April, and some nearby places, and we'll see how far I venture out. But
yeah,
more performance than shows this year, hopefully.
Yeah, a lot of the performance events. If there's any, I'm sure if there's any car shows around here and you're in the Kansas area or northern Missouri, he will probably be there. So if you want to see this truck in person, you can hit those up. I would say last year at Scheid made 602. So
602 in third, and then 632 in overdrive.
Yeah. So this year, what is the goal? I mean, I'm sure we all know last year we were all gung ho for 600. We hit it. So what's the deal?
We're shooting for the old 700 with a non-P pump.
Yeah. So if he pulls off 700 on a VE, everybody can kiss it, because I've been saying for years that somebody can do it, and I think this one could do it. So you'll have to stay tuned for this summer and what all we do, and hopefully if he dynos at Scheid, you'll see it, or wherever he dynos, I'm sure there'll be videos all over it. So I mean, I'll plug his Instagram right here. I'm sure most of you guys already follow him if you follow me. So that about wraps it up with this truck. There is another black first gen in the garage, and we'll go over all of it as well. But I think that's about all the questions I had for Derek. I mean, this is very sharp. I'll get a bunch of clips of it. Okay, so Derek happened to have the Firepunk trans cooler mounts, and I'd mentioned that I was going to buy some, and he just has some, so I went ahead and bought those from him too. So leaving with the Steed Speed and one of those. But gonna go over Glenn's truck real quick on what's all done to it. So essentially it's a get rag truck, so this is still a manual. They haven't swapped anything there. It's got right now just a random, has it got like a luck clutch in it or something?
It's a O'Reilly's heavy duty.
O'Reilly's heavy duty clutch, and it did 410 horse at Scheid a couple years back. Now that it has the hot pump stuff, it blows right through it. But I'll let Derek go over some of it. A lot of it's similar to what his had done, but now it's what his was in the past, basically. So You can go over it.
Mine made 440 back when it was in the previous days before Evans pump, and it was with the same clutch, so it's at the end of its life pretty much, but it's still running the same D-Trag with the 205 transfer case, and it's running the 362 SXE versus mine's the older, I guess the stronger wheel style, whatever.
Yep.
With 5x14 ducky injectors. Everything's supported inside. His is the intercooled smaller piston bowl. The bottom end's all stock. His head's ported. His has a CSF racing intercooler in it, and soon he's going to be running the new radiator and fans as well, like mine is. And now the different stainless diesel manifold, not intercooler.
Oh yeah, he had the Steed Speed on there. We took it off of this because I bought it, and now it has the stainless diesel one on there. It's really sharp.
Yep.
His pump is also done by Evan at Ratman Performance. You'll see that's the common trend with any really high horsepower VE trucks. I think we'll start seeing that as time goes on. Does he have a pistonless pump?
I was just gonna say, I just forgot. Both of ours has the HVLP high volume, low pressure piston lift pump still, which
you don't see. I mean,
not really.
Yeah, you really. I mean, it's
level
common
anyways.
on. Yeah, at this power level, you really don't see it often. Most people switch, and so far, I mean, Derrick's is still holding. So I think he's gonna probably push it to its limit and see what it can actually do, and then probably end up having to switch one day. But right now, that's what this truck's running to. I'll say the intercooler piping is all aftermarket. I mean, it's pretty well.
They're both running power driven diesel. The Performer air filter
Yep.
seems to flow pretty good.
I'd say they're pretty. I mean, it's a pretty simple setup. I mean, it's nothing extraordinary, but I mean it.
Head studs,
makes the power.
valve springs. I don't deal, but ported head. He's done all the porting himself on his and my head. And yeah, bottom end stock.
Yeah, it's just a 12 valve really. I mean nothing. But it runs very well. I mean it looks good. It runs good, just like Derrick. So it just doesn't make the power yet. The clutch can't hold it either. So his has red interior versus yours is gray, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's the main difference. I think this is what, PXR black.
It is like a 2017 Dodge color.
Yeah.
So it's not the PXR black. It's like it's like granite, I think.
Yeah. So it looks really good. There's a lot of depth to the paint as well. But
it's got quite a bit of flake in it.
Yeah. I'm saying Derrick's we've gone over before. I mean, there's a lot of nice paint stuff going on there as well. This one you probably haven't seen as much. But that's what's going on with this truck. So if you ever see one running around with Derrick at events or something, it's his dad's truck. It also runs very well. It's a VE truck and same thing but manual. So
he's got Carricker grill inserts and third gen seats on inside.
Yeah. So I mean that's
usual stuff.
Yeah, that's the rundown on this one. For anybody that was curious, there will be plenty of, I'm sure, B-roll and clips of what it looks like as well. So. Okay, so since I got a ride in the first gen, there wasn't any persuasion, but Derek offered Andy and Colton a ride in the truck as well, and I told them they should not pass up the ride. So we are back in here with Glenn's truck. This thing is super nice. If you guys do not know, Glenn is Derek's dad. They are the father-son duo of the black first gens. They're super sharp. This is probably potentially going to be the highest horsepower manual V truck out there within the next couple years. Well, I don't know what kind of track he's on with it, but he's got a bunch of stuff going on with it, and it's going to make some power. It already did 410 with very little, and now he has one of the hot pumps from Evan and all that good stuff, so it's going to run very well. Also, if you are interested in a set of 22 by 12 Liberty forged with these nice Kenda tires on them, 8 by 6.5, they are for sale. His Instagram name, I will put it right here. It is Deadeye59. But I'm going to go ahead and throw this manifold on here because this is his stainless manifold. He's actually going to be polishing this thing completely out, but we're going to put it on so we can move the truck for tonight, is what Derek was wanting to do. So, and here's my steed speed that I purchased. Very happy. Alright guys, so to wrap that up, or the video up, Derek's was a great time. Really appreciate them having us down and hanging out, which we should always do more of it. He's invited me up quite a bit, and we just never could get things lined up. But luckily this weekend it was a last minute deal. We're texting that morning and decided, well, let's come to Atchison. So it worked out very well. Glenn, I highly appreciate the steed speed. That will help my endeavors with this engine so much more, and I know that Glenn's looking to contribute because he's just as anxious to see this thing come together as I am. He's very supportive as far as that stuff goes and is always watching the videos, so I appreciate that. And yeah, so we had a blast. Thank you guys. We'll see Derek and Glenn and all them at UCC hopefully, and hopefully see both trucks there. So until next time, we will see you guys on the Old School Crew. Keep kicking it old school. Peace out.